Okay, let's keep going. Here's that chart from YouTube. Homo Thumadon, Passion of the Early Saints. In chapter 2, verse 1, we are in Christ's body, we share a life of togetherness. We want to be together. At the end of the verse, we share a life of fellowship. Look what it says in verse 46, Acts 2:46. So they continued daily, there's the word, with one accord, in the temple, and breaking bread from house to house. And they ate their food with gladness and simplicity of heart, praising God, having favor with the people, and the Lord added to the church daily those who were being saved. They shared a life of fellowship of the word, of worship, of instruction, of being together like they are in verse 1, and of evangelism. The Lord was adding to the church daily. They were sharing the gospel. Okay, here's the second lesson. Look at verse 5 of Acts chapter 2. We did the first 4 verses. Look at verse 5. And there were dwelling in Jerusalem Jews, devout men from every nation under heaven. Remember, this was 1 million plus people would swell the population of Jerusalem. They would come in from elsewhere. We know one Passover, Josephus tells us that there were 140,000 sacrificial lambs slain. So there were 1.4 million people minimum, because one lamb was slain for every 10 people. That's the most you could share one Passover lamb. So that means there were 1.4 million people that Passover Josephus tells us about, which is in the AD 60s. So there they were, all of them were there, but listen, and when this sound, that's the Spirit, verse 4, giving the sound like a mighty rushing wind, they were confused, and everyone heard them speak in his own language. Whoa! That means it was understandable. Tongues, glossalia, was understandable language in the Bible. No longer is it that way. It's incomprehensible, but in the Bible, the gift of tongues was understandable language. Look at verse 7. And they were all amazed, and they marveled and said to one another, look, aren't these who speak Galileans? And how is it we hear, each in our own language, in which we were born, Parthians, verse 9, Medes, Elamites, those dwelling in Mesopotamia, Judea, Cappadocia, Pontus, Asia, Phrygia, Pamphylia, Egypt, parts of Libya, Cyrene, Rome, Cretans, and Arabs, verse 11. We hear them speaking in their own tongues. Now look at this. 15 understandable languages. People from Egypt, people from Cyrene, people from Crete, people from Rome, people from Asia, Phrygia, Pamphylia, Pontus, Galatia, Mesopotamia, Parthia, Media, Elam, and Arabia, as well as Judeans, all in Jerusalem. 15 understandable languages. Wow. Where did that happen? Well, the church was born, probably right there on those steps.